Hello, and thank you for purchasing the Staggered Images and Videos Shopify section by qwiqode. In this video, I'll be showing you how to use it. With this section, you can add a custom staggered row with videos, images, along with custom text. To get started, let's go to the video blocks on the sidebar, and when we click on them, we'll see multiple options. The first option is the video URL, and with this, you can add a custom YouTube or Vimeo link so you can show that video. If you don't want to use that video, you can also add your own from your library using this field. So when we select this MP4 video, we can select one from our library, and we will use that one instead of this one. Next, we had a video poster image option, and this is in case you want to use an image as a placeholder for the video. You can add that image and that will show up before the video. So when a user clicks on it, it will reveal the video behind. Okay, so you have that option. So now let's add some more content to the other blocks. So maybe on this one, we add another video like this. Okay, and on this one, I'm gonna leave it without a poster image. And then on this one, we can add another video like this. On the last one, to add another video like this. So that's when using video blocks. But on this section, you can also add images. So you can click on add block and select image. Okay, and from here, you can select a custom image like this. And you can also add a custom image link. For example, let's say you want the users to go to a collection. When they click on the image, you can add that custom link in here. Okay, so I'm gonna add another image. Okay, now that we added the content, let's go to the section settings to style the section. When we click on it, we see multiple options. The first one is the section title and section text block. From here, you can add your own content. For example, we can add something like this and something like this. And these two fields are rich text. So that means that you can add a different wrapping for the text elements. For example, this one is an H2, which is a title, but you can select this text and change that wrapping. So you can select the wrapping from H1 to H6 or a regular paragraph. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna keep it as H2, and the text block, actually, I'm gonna change it to H4. Like this. So you can change the wrapping or the styling of some words. For example, classic, you can select this and click on bold and you see it like this. Or you can also select it to be italic. So you have that option when using rich text fields. Okay, but on this example, I don't need it, so I'm gonna leave it like this. Next, we have the media settings. And the first option is to open image link in a new tab. Okay, so when this is enabled, any links that you add in here, it will open in a new tab. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it disabled because I want the users to go straight to that page instead of opening that page on a new tab. Next, we have the image opacity on hover. So when this is enabled and you have a link to the image, like on this one, it will create this hover effect. Okay, so when this is disabled, you'll see it like this. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it enabled. Next, we have the media area styling. And the first option is the media position, which is this right here. So right now, by default, is below the text, but you can also add it to be above the text. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it below text. Next, we have the media alignment. So you can add this media to be with this effect that some of them are higher than others, or you can keep it as a straight line. So all of them are on the same line. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it staggered like this because I want to create this effect. And then you have the media stagger amount. So you can increment this distance over here using this field. Okay, next we have the margin between the media area and the text. So right now it's 30 pixels, but you can increment this to make more room between the text and the media elements. But maybe that's too much. I'm gonna leave it like this. Next, we have the same styling settings for mobile. So we have the stagger amount and the margin between text and media, but we also have the columns amount of media elements on mobile. So that means that when we're on mobile like this, you can adjust the amount of columns to show. It can be from 1 to 4, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it at 2. Let's go back to desktop. Next, we have the media styling, and the first option is the media dimensions. Right now it's originals, so that means that all these media elements are on the original dimensions, so there's no cropping. But if I select a different size, for example landscape, all of them are the same dimensions. Okay, so you can select landscape, portrait, square, horizontal, or vertical. But maybe on this example, I'm gonna leave it as portrait like this. Next, we have the media border radius, and with this we control the corners of the media elements. Right now it's 0, but if I increment this, you'll see those curves around the media elements. Maybe that's too much. I'm gonna leave it around 10. Next, we have the gap between media elements, which is this distance over here. Right now it's 10 pixels, but if you adjust this, you can make more room between them. So maybe around 20 will be fine. Okay, and then we have the same option for mobile, so you can adjust the gap between media elements. Next, we have the video settings, and the first option is the autoplay video. So right now it's disabled. So if I enable this, all videos will autoplay except for the ones that you have a poster image. Okay, so if it has a poster image, and you click on it, then it will start playing. And actually on this example, I'm gonna leave it like this because I really like this effect, this movement. Next, we have a loop video option. So when this is enabled and the video ends, it will start playing again. For example, if I keep this disabled, at the end of the video, it's not gonna repeat again. So it's gonna stay on that last frame. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it enabled because I really like this effect that is still playing. Next, we have an option to show controls on the video. Right now it's disabled, so you don't see the controls over here. But if I enable this, you give that option to the users to control the video. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it disabled because I really like this seamless effect. And actually on this first one, I'm gonna remove that poster image so we have that movement on all videos. Okay, and maybe the images, we can put them between the videos like this. Let's go back. Next, we have the video styling, and this is only available when using poster images. I'm gonna put this image back to show you. Okay, let's go back. And then in here, we have multiple options. The first one is the play icon color, which is this one over here. So you can select a different color if you like, maybe a white color. And then you can also adjust the background color. So for example, we can do something like this. So you have that white icon with a dark background. Okay, next you have the play icon background opacity. So right now it's 50%, but if you make it all the way like this, it will look like this. But maybe this is too much. I'm gonna leave it like this and actually change the color to be the other way. Like the background is white and the icon is dark. Next, we have an option for a custom play icon. So this is in case you don't want to use this one and you have a custom one, you can select it from your library like this to use it instead of this default one. Okay, so you have that option. Next, we have the play icon size. So you can select it to be small, medium, large, or extra large like this. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it medium. And actually, I'm gonna remove the image because I really like this default one. Next, we have the section styling. And the first option is the section width. So by default, it's full width. So that means that the section is expanding all the way, okay, with a content max width of 1280. So that means that the section expands all the way, but the content remains on a 1280 grid. Okay, so maybe right now we don't see it because we don't have a background color, but if we add a background color, maybe it's something like this. Okay, and we'd expand this, you'll see that the section expands all the way, but the content remains in here. Okay, but you also have an option to use real full width. So when this is enabled, this will be ignored. For example, if I enable this and I expand this, you'll see that the content will expand all the way like this without the content max width. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it disabled because I really like to keep the content right here. So that's when using full width. But you can also select it to be regular width. And when using regular width, this content max width will be the total width of the section. Let me show you. So that 1280 is all the section. So if I adjust this, you'll see that the section is very small like this. That's in case you don't want to expand all the way. You have that option. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it as full width with the content on 1280. Like this. Next, we have the section background color. I already added a color, but you can change it using this field. Next, we have the section border radius, and with this, we control the corners of the section. Right now, it's 0 pixels, but if you increment this, you can adjust these curves. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it as 0. Next, we have the top and bottom margin, and this is the outside distance of the section. So right now it's 20 pixels, but if I increment this, we'll add in more room at the top and the same at the bottom. Okay, so you can adjust that distance over here. Next, we have the section horizontal margin, and this is only available when using regular width. Okay, so if I add regular width, you can adjust this outside distance over here. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it as full width, and we can ignore this horizontal margin. Next, we have the top, bottom, and horizontal padding, and while the margin is the outside distance, the padding is the inside distance. Okay, so for example, right now it's 20 pixels, but if I increment this, we'll make more room in the inside, at the top, and the bottom, and also horizontally. Okay, but maybe this is too much. I'm gonna leave it 20 and 30 and 30. And then we have the same settings for mobile. We have the top, bottom, and horizontal margin, top, bottom, and horizontal padding. Next, we have the section header styling, and the first option is the section header max width. Right now it's 100, so that means that the text is expanding all the way, but if you want to make it smaller, you can use this field to create this effect. And when using less than 100, you can adjust this alignment to be on the center, on the left, or on the right, like this. Okay, but for now, I'm gonna keep it center, and this actually I'm gonna keep it at 100 because I want the content to expand all the way. Next, we have the section title styling, and the first option is the title alignment. So right now it's center. You can also select it to be left or right. For now, I'm gonna keep it center. Next, we have the title color, so you can add your own custom color, maybe something like like this. And then we have an option for using a custom font. So when this is enabled, you can select a font from this list, something like this, but you also have an option for using a custom font. For example, if I'm loading a Helvetica on my theme, you can add it here to apply that font. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna remove it because I want to use this other font. Next, we have the font weight. With this, you can control how bold the font looks. You can add something like this to make it bolder or have it thin. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it default like this. Okay, and then we have the top and bottom margin. So that's the outside distance of the text. So you can make more room in here and separate it from the other text using this field like this. And then you have the font size, line height, and letter spacing. Okay, but right now all of them are 0. So when using 0, it will be the default from your theme, but you can customize it using these fields. Maybe on font size we do something like this, and the font size controls that size, and then the line height controls the vertical distance between the characters. So right now it's 0 because it's the default from my theme, but if I adjust this, I can control that vertical distance. If I do something like this, I'm making more room right here. Actually, maybe this is too much. I'm gonna leave it like this, and you can adjust this. But on this example, I'm gonna leave it as 0 because I want to use the default from my theme. And then we have the letter spacing. And while the line height is the vertical distance, the letter spacing is the horizontal distance. For example, if I increment this, I'll make more room between those characters. Okay, but on this example, I'm gonna leave it as 0. Next, we have the same settings for mobile. We have the alignment, top and bottom margin, font size, line height, and letter spacing. Next, we have the section text block styling, which is this one over here. So we have the same styling settings for the title for the text block. So we have the alignment, maybe on color something like this. We can use a custom font like this, and maybe on font size a little bigger, and the margin bottom like this. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave line height and letter spacing like this. And then at the bottom, we have the same styling settings for mobile. We have the alignment, top and bottom margin, font size, line height, and letter spacing. Okay, and actually I'm gonna change the color of the section, maybe something like this. Okay, I really like the colors now, so I'm gonna save it. And that's it. Thank you again. If you have any questions or if you run into any issues, please don't hesitate to contact us via the support page on our website. Thank you and take care.